Did we read the book?
Yes.
Did we understand it?
Debatable.
Welcome to Reading Between Wines.
Where the books are questionable.
The opinions are strong.
And the wine is absolutely necessary. I'm Cece.
And I'm Mariana, and today we have thoughts.
So many thoughts.
So pour yourself something strong.
You're gonna need it.
Let's uncork this week's read.
Mariana, what are we drinking today?
Today, we are drinking a dark red that looks like it was stolen from a royal cellar during a heist. This book is basically, what if professional rivals kept trying to ruin each other's lives, but were also catastrophically attracted to each other? A Game of Hearts and Heists by Ruby Rowe is a steamy, sapphic fantasy romance about two deadly long-term rivals, a disgraced assassin named Scarlet Grey and a prisoner-turned-medic named Quinn Adams. They are forced by the Magician Queen to collaborate on an impossible heist, and the two women must navigate dangerous secrets, explosive sexual tension, because who doesn't need that, and their own history. This is an 18-plus sapphic fantasy romance featuring enemies to lovers, assassins, poisoners, violence, betrayal, explicit sexual content, questionable life choices, and enough sexual tension to qualify as a workplace hazard. So if you're looking for healthy communication from page one, you have come to the wrong kingdom. If you're not 18 plus, get you.
You're going!
All right, cheers.
Cheers, my love.
That came out of my nose. So, what did you think this book was going to be before you started?
I was expecting like an enemies to lovers fantasy romance with like political intrigues, shocking twists, and a couple I would become obsessed with. I got none of that. Okay. I really wanted to like it, okay? I really did. For obvious reasons. The women. I don't like to talk shit about women. But boy.
Do we have things to say?
I felt like I've been dropped headfirst into a jungle full of lions where two of them are apparently in love with each other and everyone expects me to care while I'm still trying to figure out where I am. I'm like, what is happening?
That's a really good analysis because, yeah, that's kind of how I felt as well.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you two are in love, but like, I don't know where I am.
Well, they're supposedly not in love, but they're clearly in love with each other. Clear as day.
Clear as fucking day. They were sleeping with each other. I have things to say about that. I will get to it later. What about you? What did you think?
I literally just thought it was going to be like a fantasy romance. I knew there was a heist involved because that was, on the back of the book. I knew there was going to be a heist and that she was going to be with her rival. Enemies to lovers, who doesn't love that? But I didn't really feel the enemies to lovers bit. I felt just the lovers bit. From Scarlett's perspective, like I could stab her, I could kiss her, maybe both. Honestly, that's just efficiency, so we could look at it that way.
We could. It would be wrong, but we could.
Well. Now I'm curious. If you had to pick one quote to summarize the book, what would it be?
I didn't enjoy this book, okay? I have, like, the dedication from the characters. By the way, she has 3 dedications. 3. Not 1, not 2, 3. Like, are we good? Anyway, the author says, and last, to me, to the girl who sat and cried into a book in the school library at lunch day after day because she had no friends. I'm sorry I stopped loving you. I know better now. I wrote this for you. I read this and I was like, oh, I'm going to enjoy this book. I'm going to enjoy it for this little girl. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I really, really wanted to like it. Enemies to lovers is my favorite trope. I love it. Again, Din and Ali. Need I say more? I love it. But this one, they weren't enemies. They were just lovers. Like, I'm sorry. At one point, Quinn is in a bed with Scarlet, realizing that she loves Scarlet. And then she's like, I also want to stab her. What? What?
You've never felt like that?
No. Have you?
You want to, like, slit their throat, but also, like,
No, I don't know. Maybe that's me, but no, I have not felt that, and I think that's kind of rude. And I was just like, one minute you love her, the other you want to... I understand that, like, I'm attracted to you, but I also want to kill you half of the time. Love that when it's well written. This is not well written, I'm sorry. It was just like, out of the blue, oh, I love you. From what? And then it's like, I want to kill you. From where? Where's this coming from? But what about you?
I actually picked 2 quotes. I think I picked only Scarlett's quotes. I vibe more with Scarlett, obviously. The first one was, there are 2 things I love. Winning an angry woman. If the 2 happen to fall together and I win, or seduce an angry woman, well, I'll let you work it out. I like the second quote better because it's a little bit more unhinged. As she, Quinn, shows me exactly who she is, the darkness in her soul, I know I'd lay down and die for her. This is when Quinn kills her dad, the border lord. She kills her dad and then stabs him multiple times over, and she's just like, is this what falling in love is like? Because she's just like,
and she says this, and then she's like, oh, I'm mad at you because you lied about your dad.
Oh, they both lied.
That's what I mean about the writing not being good. You're saying this in a monologue. 3 sentences later, I hate you because you lied about your dad, but you just realized you actually are in love with her and you would die for her. But
I know, and she's in the middle of saying, like, I love, and then Quinn screams, like, don't you dare say that now. And I'm like, you were in love with her.
3 chapters earlier, Queen is like, I actually love her.
Yeah,
You see why the writing is not good here? It doesn't really...
I didn't come for the writing, you know?
Okay, well, fair enough. But the plot is not plotting. I'm sorry. He was just like, I don't really know where I want to go with this, but here's a bit of everything. It's like Sunday night, when you have the leftovers for the rest of the week, and you're like, dinner's a bit of everything that we had this week, so we can start the week fresh. That's what this book was giving to me. Just a little bit of everything. Enemies, we got it. Lovers, we got it. Hate, we got it. This, we got it. We got everything. Enjoy.
I don't even have to ask you this because I know what you're going to say. Was this box wine energy or Vineyard Elite?
Box wine. Drinkable enough to finish, but I'm not displaying it on a shelf. I'm not doing it. I'm not writing to the family about this. I'm going to tell you right now. Past this podcast, I'm going to forget this book existed, to be honest. What about you?
For me, it was like Vineyard Elite that somehow got kicked out of the vineyard for fighting in the parking lot. They didn't even make it out. The book knows exactly what it is. It's dramatic, it's spicy, it's ridiculous, and completely committed to the bit. I'm just like half-half. They didn't even make it into the vineyard. Like, they were there, but they got kicked out.
They even got in. They were just like, no, you gotta
They were at the parking lot, and they were like, fuck you.
So, who annoyed you more?
I think it was Quinn that annoyed me the most. It's not because she's a bad character. She just annoyed me because every time she was given an opportunity to be open and communicate about who her father was, about her situation, like a normal person, she looked directly at it and she was like, no thanks. I'd rather create 3 additional problems. There were like so many moments where a 5-minute conversation could have cleared up misunderstandings, but like Quinn was committed to this weird form of secrecy that she put on herself. And, you know, it was honestly impressive. I mean, I keep secrets when they're very important, but like at one point I just wanted to like grab her and shake her and just go like, girl, Scarlett is literally standing right in front of you. Use your fucking... But instead she kept choosing martyrdom, emotional repression, and increasingly complicated plans. I couldn't even keep up with her plans at one point. I was like, wait, what? I love her, but a large portion of this book is being the CEO of avoiding honest conversations. Who annoyed you more? Let me guess.
The same. I said this before. 1 minute she's like, I love her, Scarlett. The next it's like, I want to stab her. Pick a goddamn lane. You can't have the cake and eat it too, baby. You either like a person or you don't. You can't have both, my love. She was driving me mad. I was just like, I'm done with you, Quinn. Scarlett also annoyed me, but in a lesser form. She was like having complicated feelings, but I felt like Scarlett was more, I don't want to feel this way. Quinn was more like, I know how I feel, but I also hate her. And I'm like, no, both things can't be true. I'm sorry.
I want to segue into who you related to more because I'm not sure you did.
I did a little bit. Not that much, a little bit. With Sterling. Homegirl kept calling plot twist after plot twist, and nobody listened to her. She was constantly saying, maybe don't do that, Scarlett. And Scarlett was like, I'm gonna do it.
Sitting on the back burner going, I'm not gonna listen to my twin sister. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
She was like, cool opinion, Starling. Thanks for sharing. I'm still going to do it.
I'm gonna go in a different direction.
I'm gonna go that way. Justice for Starling. She deserves way better. I was just like, oh my god, girl, just give up. What about you?
Scarlett, let me clear the air first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an assassin.
That is exactly what an assassin would say.
Okay, we're gonna get canceled. Actually, I'm for hire, so if anyone needs anything, let me know, okay? I got you. I like how Scarlet constantly approaches problems with the exact level of patience I would have in her situation, which is approximately none. Someone lies to her, violence. Someone betrays her, violence. Someone gives her a reason to be suspicious, maybe violence. Someone is being incredibly frustrating and refusing to explain themselves, just chaos. I spent most of this book understanding Scarlet's reactions because Quinn would make a decision, refuse to elaborate on that decision, and then expect everyone else to just trust the process. Meanwhile, Scarlet was ready to kick down a door and demand answers, which felt way more relatable because that's my vibe. I'm the one that people are holding back, you know? Was it always the smartest approach from her? No. Was it entertaining? Yeah, absolutely. I think Scarlet has the energy of someone who would see a red button labeled like do not press and then just ask, I mean, what could happen? What could possibly go wrong if I press this button? And honestly, same. If somebody put a red button in front of me and said don't touch this button, I'm gonna touch it.
Anyway, do you have any honorable mention?
My honorable mention goes to a man.
What?
You'll understand. It has to go to Malachi, Quinn's brother, because
Oh, I love how you specify who he was.
I had to because you were going to go off. You were going to be like, what? A man? And then you were going to clutch your pearls and faint. Can we talk about how he was actually one of the few people in this book who was capable of making a plan, thinking several steps ahead in a story full of chaos and emotionally driven decisions? He was out there trying to play chess while everyone else was setting the board on fire.
So true. He was making a smart decision. He was.
What really made him stand out for me was finally at the end when they revealed the sacrifice that he made and the lengths he was willing to go through for the people he cared about. A lot of characters talk about loyalty in this book. The majority of them talk about, like loyalty to my family, loyalty to the border lord, loyalty to him, to this, that, whatever. But Malachi actually backs it up with actions. No one else does. He put himself at risk. He carries burdens that aren't really his to carry. He makes difficult choices knowing he'll probably be the one paying the price for them. The funny part was his plan was actually a really good one. For those who don't know, the reason why Scarlet and Sterling need to take this heist is because they're basically disgraced royalty and they need the money. The queen said you can ask for one favor, and obviously they were going to ask to reinstate their titles, get all their money back from the banks that's been frozen or whatever, and that's how they were going to pay the team that helped them with the heist. The reason why they lost their titles and their parents were not murdered, they were put to death, was because the border lord commissioned Scarlet to kill Malachi, but Scarlet couldn't go through with it. So Malachi said, why don't you just sever my vocal cords so I can never speak? And that was a risk, huge risk. It was his idea, great idea. He became a spy from his dad to the queen. So the queen had a spelled book. He would write in and she would get messages and then they would disappear. The border lord set up Quinn's parents saying that they stole the map that they're chasing down, which is what the heist is to put the pieces of the map back together. And then the queen killed the parents. So I think Malachi was, while everyone else was like contributing to the chaos, Malachi was carrying the plot on his back. This was all his idea. He was the one that was trying to keep the kingdom from completely falling apart. I think there's justice for Malachi, and he deserved less stress and significantly better co-workers because they all sucked.
Preach.
What about you? Do you have any honorable mentions?
Honestly, Malachi was a really good one. I had a really hard time with this question, but I have one. Obviously, I chose a woman. I put the queen. Let me explain. Okay. She did some bad things. That's true. But she also was willing to admit when she was wrong. How many times have you read of a monarch that was like, well, actually, that was me. That was my bad.
Yeah, sorry for killing your parents.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she did it thinking that their parents were traitors. I feel like she was justified in her decision. But then she was also willing to admit when she was wrong. Not that many people would do that.
I'm going to give you this one. I'm just going to give you this one.
I read a lot of romantasy where there's queens and monarchs and stuff. None of them are willing to admit they were wrong. So she was like, I did it. I'm sorry I didn't. I gave you this job so you could find out the truth and stuff. She did something wrong. Fair enough. We all do wrong things, okay? And like, she was willing to admit she was wrong. She's a queen in my book. See what I did there?
I see what you did. Clever wordplay.
Thank you. Would you want this relationship in real life?
Do you really want to know?
Oh, you're going to say yes, aren't you?
The responsible answer is no. The honest answer is that I already have enough similarities to this dynamic to make me slightly uncomfortable. Not because my partner is secretly plotting a kingdom-wide conspiracy or withholding life-altering information. Quite the opposite, actually. I'll explain. The problem is that I am absolutely Scarlet, and my partner is generally the rational one, the one that goes like, let's think about this. Maybe we should discuss this calmly. And then there's me.
Your partner is there like, maybe let's not do that.
Yeah. Bear in mind, for the first couple months, I had them convinced that I was an assassin. There was times when they would be like, are you? And I'd be like, and just not answer. You know, I did play this part at one point. So for me, like, if something feels suspicious, I'm already creating 17 or 100 different theories in my head. If there's a problem, my first instinct is to charge directly at it. If someone puts a giant red button in front of me, like I said, and says, don't touch this, I become very interested in touching it. Meanwhile, you know, my partner is trying to be sensible while I'm operating entirely on vibes, iced coffees, and a very high emotional commitment to the bits. Do I want this exact relationship in real life? Like, no. These women need therapy, better communication skills, and several naps, because I think they were just cranky. But do I understand Scarlett's tendency to choose violence and then ask questions later? I mean, that's me, babe. That's me. I would say, like, the difference is that Scarlett and Quinn, they enable the drama, whereas my partner usually has the difficult job of looking at me and saying, hear me out, we could be normal about this. Would you want this relationship in real life?
Absolutely not. Be so fucking for real. I said this. If someone is cuddling me while contemplating murdering me, that's a boundary I'm keeping. We're done here. We're done. Don't talk to me no more. For you, was the drama justified?
Objectively, no. But again, for entertainment purposes, like, extremely, because half the plot is empowered by secrets that could have been solved with an honest conversation. But then we wouldn't have a book, and we'd have a healthy relationship about 40 pages long, and, you know, who wants that? Not me. What about you? Did you think the drama was justified?
Some of it, I guess. I don't know, honestly. I go back and forth. I'm like, maybe? No. Most of it felt manufactured by the people refusing to communicate until the absolute worst possible moment. And then they would talk. You could have talked about this 3 chapters ago. You decided not to, and now we're here.
So, Cece, is this a red flag or a book girlfriend?
Red flag. Not even a fun red flag. It's a red flag waving aggressively in broad daylight. Like, just... please see me. And they're just like, I see nothing. I'm blind. What about you? What do you think?
You know, since I'm kind of like Scarlet, I feel bad saying red flag. This is the kind of warning where the sign is flashing. You know, you have like alarms going off and the reader is sitting there thinking like, I can fix her. That was me. And then you just have to admit, like, no, you can't. This is who it is. And, you know, but it's fun to watch. I mean, she is a red flag, but I guess so am I then. I'm not going to lie about who I am.
The first step is to admit there's a problem.
No, because I'm not planning on changing.
Do you have any moments that made you laugh, cry, or scream?
Controversial take here. There was so many cringe moments about the amount of times that Ruby used the word pussy in the book.
I already, like, literally goosebumps.
I looked it up. It was over 20 times. Over 20 times in a 400-page book. This could be a fun drinking game, right? Take a shot every time you see the word pussy. It'd take me back to my 20s. I've grown since then. No, actually, I didn't. You want to take a shot with me right now? I brought my Grey Goose.
What?
I'm gonna do a shot just for the...
Shut up, you are not.
I already have my cup.
Are you serious?
Okay. Shot's full. This is a coffee cup, but it's all I had. It's really strong, but it's my favorite vodka. Yeah. I'm good.
She didn't even flinch. That is crazy.
With a little bit of wine, vodka goes straight down. Good.
I have no words.
I feel better.
That was crazy.
Do you see how good that goes going down? Do you think it would have been funnier if I had planned it with you to do a shot? No.
No.
It was funny because I linked it back to my 20s and the alcohol poisoning. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it.
That's insane. That was an insane thing to do.
My stomach is feeling really warm right now.
Yeah.
I feel like...
yeah. My love.
Woo! Let's get this started. Huh? Let's get it started in here. Huh? Let's get it started in here.
I'm worried about you. I can't believe you just
Don't be
on camera.
This is like my favorite vodka. It's frozen, if you can see the bottom, because it's always in my freezer, and I use it to make my martinis. I use straight up vodka for my martinis. What about you, Cece? Do you have any moments that you'd like to announce here?
I don't have any alcohol like that in the house, so I'm not doing that, just so you guys know. I divided by laugh, scream, and cry. So I'll go one by one, okay? Laugh. The shut-up moment after Scarlett is actively...
Welcome to another episode of Is Mariana Okay? Maybe? Not really.
You are drunk. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I am a lightweight.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think this vodka is from France. Oh, it is! It's from France! Shout out for you. The vodka's from France. Carry on.
The shut-up moment after Scarlett is actively having a mental breakdown. I wasn't even laughing in a cute way. More in a, what the fuck is happening right now kind of way. I don't know if you remember this moment. Scarlett just realized that Queen was the daughter of the Border Lord. Queen stayed behind at the palace, and Scarlett was having like all this realization and everything. Sterling sat next to her in a carriage, and she was like leaning against Sterling, and she was like, I can't believe this has happened. And Sterling was like, yeah, okay, well, shut up. I was just like, what? It made no sense. They weren't sitting together. Sterling came to sit next to Scarlett. Sterling was like, Remy just told me what happened. Then Scarlett was like, I can't believe she's this and that. And Sterling was like, yeah, shut up. I'm sorry, what? Anyway, the scream part, every plot twist that was visible from space.
Yeah, there was nothing that was a little bit unpredictable in the book.
That's the plot twist, is that this book was predictable as hell. Cry for the potential this book had. So much potential. Lost. Completely gone.
Yeah.
Gone with the wind. Controversial takes, do you have any?
This is one of those books where the romance works specifically because the women are slightly unhinged. If they were emotionally mature from chapter 1, the entire series would collapse. All of the characters. I'm talking about Scarlett, Sterling, Morrigan, Jacob, the race driver. Don't even get me started on that. And then the other girl, Ruby? Remy. Yeah, I don't remember their names. I don't know. It's the vodka. So, Remy. Also, there was like something deeply entertaining about characters acting possessive and obsessive in fiction. While I was just sitting on my couch, like safely observing them and cheering them on as well. I'm like, get that obsessive power.
Get it, girl.
Get it, girl. What about you? Do you have any like spicy takes or anything?
I've said this before. This is more of a controversial take. But I said this. The characters weren't the biggest problem. The writing was. I felt like I was dropped into a world where like stuff had already happened and I wasn't present, so I didn't I didn't connect emotionally with these characters, so I wasn't invested. Okay, they got together.
Yeah, I get it.
Cool, fun.
And we knew that like from the very beginning.
Exactly.
They were gonna end up together.
Yeah. Again, there were no enemies.
It was just a little bit of fun foreplay.
Yeah.
Like choking a little.
They had already been together prior to us starting the book, to us following their story. So we had no build-up. And that's the fun about enemies to lovers, is the build-up, is the sexual tension that they have. You can see that they want to, like, smash. They're like, no, but I hate this person. I would never, but you can see the sexual tension there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the fun about enemies to lovers.
The thing was, every time Scarlett or Quinn were alone together, they fucked.
Boom.
Without even hesitation.
Exactly. It wasn't even
no
like
pause.
It wasn't even like, oh no, I'm not gonna do this because this is my enemy.
No, it was like she just threw them. Like they just threw themselves at each other.
Yeah, it was just like, we're alone, let's fuck.
The bathhouse, the racetrack.
Built up.
Everywhere.
That's the thing for me. For enemies to lovers is like the slight brush of hands. They're like, nobody can touch her but me. Nobody can hurt her but me.
Boom. Deleted off the earth.
But like, you make fun of her or him. That's the thing, enemies to lovers. It's not just like, they already lovers when you start the story. No. I don't like that. In a 400 page, they have to be enemies for at least 300 pages. At least.
You can't know the outcome of the book. You can't know the outcome of the book.
That makes no sense to me. It was just
And I knew the outcome of the book just by reading the back cover. I was like, oh, they're gonna end up together.
obviously when you read like a romantasy or a romance or something, you know they're gonna end up together, obviously. But also,
Yeah. But it's the
make me
story
guess.
that takes us there.
Yes, make me guess. Build it up. I think it was Please Don't Go. The minute they were about to get a phone ring.
Yeah.
Build it up. There was no build up for this. I think the third page that I read about this book, they were already fucking.
Sterling was like, let's go to a club, and then Scarlett was like, I don't fuck on the first date, and then Sterling says, you gotta try something once, and I was like, definitely.
Another controversial take here, I've said this a little bit earlier, this book kept trying to convince me that every reveal was shocking when it had practically mailed me the spoilers beforehand.
Yeah.
Also, Morrigan being the Queen's daughter. Yeah, that reveal arrived 200 pages too late.
I connected the dots when they foreshadowed and said only royalty has this many tattoos, and I was like, oh.
No. I put it together when the minute they were at the Queen's Palace and Scarlett was like, no one knows the Queen's daughter.
The daughters of the Queen.
Yeah, no one knows what they look like, and I'm like, they're gonna get the Queen's daughter on their team.
For me, it was when they were jumping in the baths, doing the cold plunge and then the hot water. When they saw her body covered like 75% in tattoos, I was just like, oh, she royalty.
No, the minute they were like, no one knows what the daughters look like, and I'm like, okay, so one of the characters is gonna be the daughters. Let's see who.
Oh, you're smarter than me.
No, it was just like predictable. The minute they introduced this character and they were like, clearly Sterling's love interest, I was like, oh, so she's the one. Okay, got her. When they are at the palace, which by the way, also, oh my god, their whole thing was that they have to go on this mission to retrieve the map. Was super easy to retrieve the map.
That's what I'm saying. There was no heist. They just walked through doors.
They walked through doors.
They ended up there. He killed her dad and left.
Super easy.
There was no heist, and this was not like a fantasy book.
No.
And that's why I was super confused with what era this book was in.
Yes.
Because they talk about magic. Okay, there's magic. But then there's race cars. But then there's carriage drivers. But then there's motorcycles and watches. I was super confused. I was like, what era is this? What? Give me a time frame.
That's what I said. It's Sunday dinner. It's a little bit of everything. Do you have any memorable moments?
I have one that's kind of like cheesy. The forced proximity. Because, of course, there's only one bed at the inn. I read this and I was like, can we choose something different? What do you think is going to happen? What's going to happen here?
Again, it's not like they hadn't been together before. And also,
I know,
what
but
it upset me was like, then all the other ones, Remy and Sterling, that were together, they also slept in the same bed then. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it was just the one bed trope. It was just really, I was like,
there were every trope in this fucking. The only one that they didn't have was pregnancy, and that would be really weird if they did.
So I was gonna say, I don't think that's possible.
Exactly.
But if it was possible, she would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason she didn't do it was because it would be impossible.
I don't know. With magic, maybe she could like.
Maybe she didn't think of that.
What about you? Did you have any memorable moments?
No, I honestly just have one question. How exactly is the whole Morrigan working for her mother situation going to happen? Because that sounds to me like an 8-hour nightmare waiting to happen.
Well, you find out in the second book.
Was this a reread or a re-drink?
Ooh, this is a re-drinking with a side of shots. Speaking of.
No more!
I'm gonna do another one.
No! Oh my god. You are insane. Don't fill it up at least. Oh my... There's no way you're gonna drink that.
Smooth. Thank God I don't have a license. I had my shot, now I can explain why. I say that, not because I didn't enjoy the book. I did. This book had so many of the ingredients I want in a dark lesbian romance, like obsession, rivalry, tension, morally questionable decisions, women making terrible choices for reasons that make perfect sense to them, and enough chemistry to power a small city, probably. It had everything it needed to be a great romance, and the vibes are now just ingrained in my head. And I will be reading the following 3 books because, for me, I can't start a series and just read the first book. I have to read all 4 books. To be fair, I already bought all 4 books, so I can't not read them now. I have to. For me, instead of immediately rereading it, I'd rather sit back with a glass of wine or my shot glass, just reminisce about all the chaos and the tension and the moments that had me like screaming internally. Also, you need a little bit of a recovery period after books like this, you know? The book was delicious, but like the real life version of this, I want to go to the nearest exit, but also, you know, I am, as you can see, I'm kind of crazy. Yeah. So for now, I'm re-drinking. I'm appreciating the mess from a safe distance and letting Scarlett and Quinn continue making questionable decisions in my memory instead of in the book. What about you?
We drink 3 glasses. 1 to get through the beginning, 1 for the middle, and 1 for every time the book acted like it had just blown my mind.
Do you want a shot?
No.
You're missing out.
Was this main character energy or delusional?
Both Quinn and Scarlett have main character vibes, but both with the side of heavy delusion. To be fair, is how most fantasy protagonists survive. So confidence is important when your plans are absolutely terrible. That's all I'm going to say on that. What about you?
Delusional, obviously. This book thought it was playing like Uno while showing me the cards.
That's a good analogy.
Thank you. Would you recommend it to your grandma?
It depends on the grandma, because I have like my sweet church bake sale grandma and then my other grandma that I vibe with. So if it's my church sale grandma, like absolutely not. But if it's my other grandma who watches like crime documentaries, supports women's rights and women's wrongs, and enjoys drama immediately. In fact, I think she'd probably finish this book faster than I had, to be fair. What about you? Would you recommend it to your grandma?
Only if my grandma specifically asked for a fantasy romance where everyone treats obvious information like stated secrets. Otherwise, grandma deserves better. Also, can I just say, I've been waiting this entire episode to show my t-shirt. It says, equal rights for others does not mean fewer rights for you. It's not a pie.
That's lovely.
Thank you.
But I will say that is enough opinions for one episode.
But I have so much more. We've read.
We've discussed.
But did we fully understand it?
That's still always up for debate.
Follow us on everything and Reading Between Lines for more book chaos and questionable takes. I'm Cece.
And I'm Mariana, and we'll see you next Friday with another book.
Another bottle.
Definitely more opinions you didn't ask for.
I need it.
And remember,
drink responsibly.
Actually critique irresponsibly.
Bye.
And maybe have a thought.
Don't have shots. Stop it.
Bye.
Bye.
Personally, Shannon is exactly the kind of person that most of us knew in high school. The friend that's always keeping secret agendas and keeping score and treating social statuses like it's the fucking Olympics. And somehow, you know, like turning every moment back to themselves. And so this scene literally gave me flashbacks that I did not ask for. I knew a person like this. And it was somebody that I was very close to, and like, this happened. So it's like, you gotta think. You got to put it into my perspective. You know, as someone who usually reads dark romance, where people commit actual crimes, Shannon still managed to annoy me more than like half of the people that I've read those things about. Like, that's honestly impressive.